Warning, this episode contains adult language, mature situations, midlife crisis-affected protagonists, rude but honest male models, what-if scenarios, and manga news. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken manga review. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you're doing good and hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast that you can find at www.spiraken.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and various other social media sites. Just type in SPIRAKEN and guarantee you'll find us one way or the other. And if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, click on that bell for notification, and welcome to a very extremely special episode of this podcast because, one, this is currently live streaming, and more importantly than that, this is the final episode of the manga review and all the other podcasts at Spiraken that's going to be done at this apartment. Yes, I am officially moving. Today is the last day before I move my desk, so I thought I'd go out with a bang. I know I was supposed to have a podcast yesterday, but I figured, you know what? Let's make it awesome, let's make it great, and let's make it one which is going to be amazing. So, with that, let's actually get to it, because I'm kind of excited to see how this goes. I really am, because there's so much going on, so much to do, and more importantly, so many really just, well, awesome things to talk about. Because if you remember from that last episode, I spun that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga, and it dictated unto me that I'd be reviewing a manga that was written by someone kind of cool, someone kind of famous, and we are talking about Akiko Higashimura. Now, this is the creator of Princess Jellyfish and several other Josei mangas. And as you can guess, this was released by Kodansha, released over here by Kodansha USA. And it was published in Kiss magazine, meaning that this is a Josei for women over the age of 18 and under 60. And this one actually is that, but it's also one that's very intriguing for everyone who is over the age of 20, for reasons we'll get to in a little bit. But the original run for this was 2014 to 2017. There are currently 9 volumes. The series is finished, and it is a romantic comedy that was originally known as Tokyo Tarareba Musume, or in English it is known simply as Tokyo Tarareba Girls, or that translates actually into Tokyo What If Girls. The manga actually opens up with a really cool quote which explains the series completely. And what is this quote that we're talking about? Well, we're talking about someone saying, "So I was wondering all those what ifs, and then I turned 33. This is from the narrator of our story and the main character, Riko. And Rinko is a 33-year-old writer who has built her way up to be the best she can be. And besides being a writer for television shows and just being a screenwriter, she pretty much hangs out with her friends, including her best friend, Kaori, who runs her own nail shop. And, well, they go out, they drink, and they have food. That's about it. That's what their life is. And they think it's pretty normal that they actually hang out and drink and just kind of live their life, and they've all made a weird pact that before the 2020 Olympics, they are all going to get married and life's going to be great. The only problem is that things aren't really going the way that they expected, and life is not the way it goes. They are dealing with a lot of ups and downs. They and their friend Kyuki, and Kyuki is someone who owns she is someone who works for a pub that her dad owns that they hang out with every night. So every night they get off work, they go to this pub, they hang out and they drink. And they eat really good food because in their 20s, they were like, oh, we're going to act like real girls and do our own thing. Then when they were 25, they're like, you know what, getting drunk every night and spending a lot of money is not great. So I want to just hang out low-key and eat food, which anyone who has grown up knows that's the best part. At first, you're like, I got to do that hustle style. I got to eat all the expensive things. I got to have the best of this. And in the end, when you grow up, you're like, yeah, I don't need that. I just want some good food that I enjoy, which is comfort food, and to hang out with my friends. That's kind of the case. The only problem with this is that they're all stuck in a rut and things are not going well until one day that her boss, Mr. Hayasaka, says, hey, I want to talk to you after work. And we'll go out, have dinner. I found a really nice place. Now, the last time this conversation between her and Mr. Hayasaka happened, well, Rinko was was offered a ring. And this was about 10 years ago. And he talked to her. He was kind of cool. He was okay. He was a production assistant. Let's go out. And he gave her a weird ring, and she turned him down really badly. So at this point, they're like, oh shit, this is happening. This is a 5-alarm fire. We got to get ready. We got to get things together. This is a really big deal. So she texts her homegirls, and they all meet up to, well, have a war party and figure out what's going on. Because honestly, like I said, 10 years ago, she said no. And now the what ifs. Now he's gotten better. What happens if he's going to propose to her? What happens if things are going to go well? And that is what they are. They're kind of these what if. They're Tarareba Girls. That is the whole premise of this, that these what ifs of what could have happened, these points that were made. And so she's trying to figure out what to do. Meanwhile, making kind of a nuisance because every time they go to this bar, they get really shit-faced and cause problems. However, things don't exactly go the way that you expect. And unfortunately, well, after talking to her friends and getting ready and actually dressing up and super sexy to kill, she goes on the date. The date goes amazing. And he pulls out a box. She thinks, oh my God, he's going to propose to me. He's now a famous director. Life's going to be good. Well, that's not what happens. Instead, he asks her what she thinks about the ring because she has the same ring finger as her assistant, Mommy. Yes, Mommy or Mammy, who he wants to ask out with the intention to marry. And she's like, wait, what? You're asking me about my assistant? And said, wait, what? And she completely kind of freezes and, oh shit, what did I do wrong? Life is not good. And she's kind of shocked by this, goes back, hangs out with her friends, and things get worse. Because she's completely flabbergasted, doesn't understand what's going on. She's like, this is Cap. He should have been there. But then, in the back of her mind, 2 pieces of milt sushi and atera and bera, that's the joke, is they actually anthropomorphize into these 2 creatures, talk to her in her head because she's drunk. And they tell her, yeah, well, you thought what if was going to happen, that what if he's going to propose to you? What if he doesn't propose to you because you waited too long? What if you did this incorrectly? What if you're going to end alone? And that is the premise of this manga, is about these 3 women trying to better themselves and find out what is wrong, what went with each situation. Each one has a different problem that occurs. For example, with Kaori. Kaori had a boyfriend who was amazing and great and awesome, and he was a failing musician, and 5 years ago she broke up with him because he's a failing musician. Due to some circumstances, she finds out he is super popular now and super awesome. And when she sees him again, he immediately hugs her and is like, oh my God, I love you, I missed you so much. And, well, yeah, turns out, because she thinks, oh, it's like a conveyor belt. You know, you wait on conveyor belt sushi and the food comes around. Unfortunately, his girlfriend shows up and snags him. So the whole thing is, life isn't like a conveyor belt. It doesn't go in a circle where you come back. It just keeps going on. And if you stay on that, if you don't grab it now, it'll be gone forever. Then with Koyuki, it's a little different. Koyuki, her situation is she wants a guy that is going to care for her and love her, and life is going to be great. One little problem with that. She's a little too stingy about this. Life isn't going to go good. She ends up on the date. Well, she ends up on a date with a guy who shows up at a restaurant and keeps buying food, and he says that she's gorgeous. She's like, this is great. I finally found someone who appreciates me for my food and myself. It'll be great. And he's like, yeah, I'm definitely down for this, but just letting you know, I'm married. So essentially, she's now the other woman in an affair. And because she's in her 30s, life is not exactly giving her a lot of options, so she decides to go with this. And more importantly, what about Rinko? What's going on with her? Well, through all this, I didn't mention someone, this young asshole kid who shows up at the bar and says, what are you ladies doing? This isn't cool what you're doing. Young girls can go to a bar and bitch and complain. You're in your 30s. Act like adults. Or later on, they're completely shit-faced after karaoke and they're stumbling in a bar. And he bumps into them again and says, you know, young girls who are drunk fall on the ground. That's kind of cute. You're in your 30s. This is sad. And more importantly, this guy keeps popping up, and it ends up he's actually a male model by the name of Key, who ends up being in Rinko's circle, and stuff happens. And it's hinting they're going to be a relationship, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to explain too much because you should read this. But overall, I've been going over this bits and pieces and kind of hinting at what this story is about. And let me just be clear. The manga itself is about these moments about life, that you have to take things into consideration, that life is not stagnant, that life keeps going on, that you have to make the attempt. You can't just sit there and commentate on things. There's a moment when they're talking about all the missed opportunities, the what ifs that they had. And they described it, and it shows them as baseball players on a baseball team, where they're sitting in the dugout and everyone else is playing, but they're just shit talking and not getting in the game. And one of them finally gets to go to bat, whiffs and fails miserably. And the other one, oh, you're not participating, so you know what? You're out of off the team. That's how it goes. This focuses on that element of life and, more importantly, what is and isn't needed to move forward. Yeah, it's a bit of a rom-com. Yes, this is true, but it also deals with these elements. Also focuses on the fact that these girls, these women are trying to live their life. And it's intriguing and engaging. More importantly than that, it's also a great showing of a third place, which is that bar which Koyuki's family owns. They keep going there, and there's scenes that are just reused of them getting drunk and shit-faced. And they keep following the same issue, the same path of, oh, shit happens, 5 alarm, everyone meets up. Because their code is 1 alarm, you got to talk about something kind of important. 2 alarms, oh God, someone died. 3 alarms, work problems. 4, we got to get drunk and bitch talk about stuff. And eat good food. And that's what this is about. And as you can see, Akiko Higashimura's art style is really beautiful. It's well done, and if you like Princess Jellyfish, you're going to love this. And for everyone else who wants something violent and crazy, this is not for you, but it's something which is engaging. And if you are over the age of 20, if you're in your 30s, your 40s, this is one of those mangas that is definitely you're going to appreciate because it deals with aging. And no matter what, we all can identify with these moments of these, oh God, what do we do? There's an internet meme of a guy at a crossroads in his 30s like, here are my options, hookers and blow, alone forever, settle with becoming a step parent, or or just online dating. And that's your options. And this is that personified. And for that reason, I have to give this our second highest rating of Borrow from a Friend and Don't Return Unless Offered Pocky. It's really good. Also, everyone who's watching on the live stream right now, you are all awesome. Sorry I'm not able to interact. For some reason, my chat window is not working. I don't know why it's saying it's disabled. But, well, we'll fix that later. But anyway, hope everyone's enjoying it so far. Hope you're having a blast. And for everyone who's listening on or watching in the future, well, hope things are going great. And more importantly than that, I have a random question for everybody, which is really important. It's something I should bring up for this podcast, and it's for this episode. Now, the random question for the week is going to be very simple. It is 30 years old too old to be hanging out at a bar with your friends? Is it too old? Is that time when you can't do that? Or do you think it's cool to hang out with your friends in your 30s or your 40s? What do you think? Let me know. You can email me personally at Zan, that's XAN at Spiraken.com, or you can tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know your thoughts on that, if you like it or didn't like that. And with that in mind, let's get to the part that, well, one of the parts you all wait for, and that is the manga release for the week. And we've got some fun ones and some insane ones this week, so let's get to it, shall we? So, for this week, here's what the manga releases are going to be. Right now, for this week, we've got As an Reincarnated Aristocrat, I'll Use My Appraisal Skills to Rise in the World, Volume 10. Looks kind of cool, a little different. We're going to see how it goes. Next, we have Ballad of Sword and Wine, Kyung Jinju, the novel, Volume 1. Blade of the Moon Princess, Volume 4, finally being released. Cherry Magic, 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard, Volume 11. A Condition Called Love, Volume 8. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, Volume 1. Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, Mao Dao Zhujing, the Comic, Volume 6. The Ideal Sponger's Life, Volume 16. Kaiju Number 8, Volume 10. Kimomo Jihen, Volume 11. The King's Beast, Volume 13. Kuma 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 Bear, Light Novel, Volume 18. Last Game, Volume 5. Let's Do It Already, Volume 1. Lonely Castle in the Mirror, Volume 3. A Man and His Cat, Volume 11. The Mimosa Confessions, Light Novel, Volume 1. My Hero Academia, Volume 38. We're almost up to current. We're seeing how it's going. Parallel Paradise, Volume 18. Quality Assurance in Another World, Volume 8. Queen's Quality, Volume 19. Rainbow Days, Volume 10. Sakamoto Days, Volume 12. I'm still surprised that Sakamoto is only 28 years old. That's mind-boggling to me because he looks like an old man in this series. Sorry, I gotta just say that. It's just crazy that he's that old. Anyway, Snow White with the Red Hair, Volume 26. Stay by My Side After the Rain, Volume 2. A Tale of the Secret Saint, Manga, Volume 6. This is screwed up, but I was reincarnated as a girl in another world, Manga, Volume 12. Tying the Knots with an Amagami Sister, Volume 5. The Untamed, the official art book, the hardcover edition. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, Volume 8. Who Made Me a Princess, Volume 6. Windbreaker, Volume 6. And then last, and certainly not least for this week, we have Yes, No, or Maybe, the light novel 3, Where Home Is. So, which of these are you most excited about? Let me know. Email me, zan@spiraken.com. Leave a comment down below. For me personally, the ones I'm most excited about are going to be simply Blade of the Moon Princess, Volume 4. This is a great reinterpretation of the Legend of Princess Kaguya. And I gotta say, it is great how it's been so far. And Volume 3 left you with such a cliffhanger. I gotta say, I can't wait to see where this goes. Next is going to be The Fragrant Flower Blossoms with Dignity, Volume 1. This is a manga which a lot of people are talking about as being really cool. I don't know what it's about, but we're going to see. Then you have Let's Do It Already. That's such a provocative title. Just want to see what the hell it's about. My Hero Academia, Volume 38. This is going to be the fight between our favorite Uravity and our favorite shape-shifting psychopath. So is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? We're going to have to wait and see. Then the Untamed, the official art book. It looks really cool, and the art is really awesome. So that is my thoughts for it. And these are the ones that I'm excited about. So anyway, before we go any further, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who are checking out this podcast and this live stream and who listen to this and who are subscribing. Thank you so much. Every email I get, every new subscriber I get, every new comment I get gives me more motivation to keep doing this podcast. I love doing this. I've been doing this since 2008. I'm going to keep doing this so I'm an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses and large print. So keep giving me reasons to do this. Definitely like, share, subscribe, which is my favorite thing. And to top it off, something kind of fun and something which is really crazy. I'm going to show you this in 1 second. Just got to pull it up. On our manga, on our YouTube channel, I put a post for what manga video do you want to see on our YouTube channel for this month. Something new, something different. And what did we get? After ratings, it seems that number 1 out of our 4 choices of Akudama Drive, Apothecary Diaries, the light novel review, Bullet Train, the novel review, and Godzilla -1, the movie review. With 56%, we've got Akudama Drive. So I'm going to be doing a review of Akudama Drive, and to all my anime and manga friends out there, if you want to get in on this and talk about Akudama Drive and the awesomeness that is Swindler, Courier, Cutthroat, Doctor, and of course, we cannot forget everyone's favorite brawler, let me know. Email me zan@spiraken.com or tweet me at Spiraken. And like I said before, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Click on that bell for notifications so I could definitely get more viewers. I'm currently at 220. I'm so happy I'm at 220. I want to make it to 500 before the end of this year. Hopefully this will happen. So if you guys can help me, that'd be great. And if not, tell your friends about this. But more importantly, let's get to the part that you have all been waiting for, the most popular part of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only, the Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. And what I've done is I've assigned a manga title to each of the 10 slots. So what we're going to do is spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is what I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 561. And we've got some great titles on here. Of course, we've got What Did You Eat Yesterday? Let's Do It Already. Cat on the Hero's Lap. Fridays at the Atelier. Goku Rakagi. Appare Ranman, The Medalist. Taco P's Original Sin. Night of the Living Cat. And Tying the Knot with the Amagi Sisters. So let's spin and see what we're going to review the next episode, shall we? I went kind of light today because I didn't want to do too heavy spin. Also, I've been spinning on one way too much. So let's see if a lighter spin will do a little bit better. Oh my god, it actually worked. And we're going to be reviewing Cat on the Hero's Lap, number 3. What is this about? Well, it's about the most horrible thing that happens if you are a pet owner. It's when your pet, a cat, will sit on your lap. What happens? You are frozen because it has chosen you as its place. But what can you do if the cat is on your lap and something's attacking you? Do you attack the creature or do you not disturb the cat? What is the choice? We're going to find out in the next episode. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzville. Catch you guys next time. And as always, keep reading manga. See you later.